Hi there, I'm Charlotte Jameson, a Wellbeing practitioner. I've been asked by a few people just to share a few strategies of what to do during this time. It's a really overwhelming time for everybody, not just in Australia, but all over the world, obviously. And I'm going to share with you just a few tidbits about the brain, why to help us understand and appreciate why it is we're doing the things that we're doing and the thinking, the way that we're thinking, and what we can do about it. So I'm going to go through some tips. Before I press on, I did want to just mention that if you are thinking that your sense of anxiety or your sense of overwhelm is becoming problematic, I really encourage you to reach out to Beyond Blue and Lifeline. There are some fantastic professional supports that you can tap into and very easily. And you're not alone. You are human. It's a very understandable feeling to have these sorts of feelings. And so reach out if you think that it might be helpful to do so. So the brain, we have this threat response in our brain, and it's been very useful to focus on what's potentially dangerous to us, but it also causes a lot of anxiety. And as humans, we want to quell that anxiety. So what we do is we try to control it by, in this case, we've gone out and bought toilet paper, or we stockpiled our pantries in order to control the uncontrollable, in order to suppress that sort of that anxiety that we're feeling. Something that is more helpful is to focus on how we could respond effectively. And we can do these through the next 5 tips that I'm going to talk to you about. Firstly, limit your exposure to COVID-19 information. There are some reliable sources out there that will keep you informed. So be alert but not alarmed. And also be mindful of when you're actually looking at this sort of information. Don't do it just before you go to bed or upon waking. It's going to firstly ruin your sleep if you're doing it at nighttime, and upon waking it's going to set you up for anxiety for the rest of the day. So just limit the time that you actually expose yourself to this sort of information. Number 2, focus on deep breathing. When your exhalation is longer than your inhalation, it can help you tap into a parasympathetic nervous system, which is your calming response. Your sympathetic nervous system, is your stress response. It's your cortisol, it's your anxiety, and your parasympathetic nervous system actually helps you feel that calm. So deep breathing, and especially when you elongate that exhalation, that will help you get into that calm state. You might be only up to counting for 3 on the inhale and then counting for 5 on the exhale, or maybe you're a seasoned deep breather and you're ready to do potentially 6 counts on the inhale and 8 to 10 on the exhale. You will know because your brain will start to feel a bit dizzy if it's not used to deep breathing. So just take it slow, because this is something to work up to. So number 3 is to learn how to sit with uncertainty. These are uncertain times. We don't know how long they're going to last. We don't know to what effect it's going to have on our economy or our businesses. What does it mean for our society, our communities, and what does it mean for the health of our family and for our loved ones? It's a really uncertain, overwhelming time. So you can sit with that uncertainty. You can make space. You can feel the uncertainty, and you can focus on what you need to focus on. You can live your life as well. So you can feel anxious thoughts. You can have anxious thoughts, but you can also have really helpful, strategic, positive thoughts. You can feel anxiety, but you can also feel positive emotions as well. These two can coexist. So make sure you just make space for that uncertainty, because it's here. Accept it. And we can learn to live with it and make space for it. Number 4 is to focus on the present moment. Anxiety occurs when we focus on future events, what might happen, and we can get carried away. It can snowball very easily. And so when you bring yourself back to the present moment, okay, I can feel my back against the chair. I can feel my feet on the floor. I can see a light, a glass, a computer. I can hear. Can I hear outside? I can hear birds. I can hear the wind. Whatever it is that can actually bring you back into the present moment. And focusing on your senses or your breathing can actually really help with that sense of overwhelm and anxiety. Number 5 is to practice gratitude. So I do this. I do it 3 times in the morning and 3 times at night. It's no big deal. It's not a huge thing. You could do gratitude journals as well if you're so inclined. I really recommend them. But maybe you'd like to just start with thinking about a few things. And so they can be grandiose. They can be, I'm so thankful for the health of my family. Or it can be just small. It can be, so thankful for the coffee that I had this morning or the good night's sleep I had. It's training your brain to focus on things that you're thankful for. And soon your brain will just start noticing things that you're thankful for as an automatic kind of response. It's not when you're doing gratitude practice. It just happens throughout the day. And that is what's going to get you through this year, and that's what's going to get you through the next year and the next year. That is resilience. So gratitude, along with the rest of the 4 tips, is really going to set you up for success. So a quick recap is the brain. We have a threat response, and that threat response produces the anxiety, and we want to control it. We are human. This is what we do. So let's respond effectively by limiting our exposure to information and focusing on reliable sources. Secondly, taking some deep breaths, focusing on extending the exhalation. Thirdly, learning how to sit with that uncertainty, making space for it. Fourth, being present in the moment, so focusing on each sense to bring you back into the present moment. And fifth, to focus on practicing gratitude and making that something that the brain just does naturally. As I finish this video, working from home can be incredibly isolating, so make sure that you keep connected. Make sure you keep checking in with each other. You don't have to be face-to-face. It can be a phone call, it can be virtually over video. Sending out kind gestures and words of kindness as well. Positivity and kindness and generosity, they're really catching. And we can have a ripple effect in society if we start doing it to one another. So I really encourage you to stay connected during these times. It's imperative that we do stay connected and that we're in this together. We acknowledge that. So I wish you all the best. And if you do want to stay connected with me, I'm at charlottejameson.com. You can follow me on Instagram at Charlotte Jameson, and I'm on LinkedIn as well. So all the best, and good luck.